friends. It's episode 25 of the Money Sauce podcast. We're going to have a little bit of an abbreviated podcast this week. Um, just weren't able to connect like usual. It's all good in the hood. Um, so, like I said, episode 25, we're going to hold our topic of the week for next time. And we're going to start, as we always do, with some breakingish news. So, I don't know if you guys saw the other day, but Columbus Blue Jackets head coach Rick Bowness is he was upset following a 2-1 loss to Washington that made them have six straight losses. They barely missed the playoffs. And his comments were, all you have to do is look at the stat sheet. 3 hits, 23 giveaways. These guys, they don't care. Losing is not important enough to them. It doesn't bother them. How can you go out and play like that? I should have done this about a month ago, but this is why we are where we are. This is why we're out of the playoffs. That kind of effort. You have to hate losing. I don't care if it's a meaningless game. I don't care. Show up and compete. Um, he went on to basically say, next, if he's still around next year, that he is going to be changing that attitude in the locker room. And, it came across as kind of some interesting news towards the end of the regular season there. But you know what I say? Good on him. Good on him for still caring while the season had turned into a nothing season for them. So we'll see if he's back next year and he gets to follow through with that. The playoffs started this week. Hopefully you guys got a chance to listen to the bonus pod. Um, as the playoffs have gotten going, Tampa Bay Lightning star Nikita Kucherov and PHL MVP, he moved into the top 20 on the all-time playoff points list. He got a second period assist in game one against the Canadiens on Sunday, and that was the 172nd point of his 153 game postseason career. So he passed Peter Forsberg. So that's pretty impressive. So it takes a lot of points and a lot of playoff games. So congrats, Kucherov. The Vancouver Canucks, following the end of their abysmal season, um, they decided to go ahead and fire their GM. So Patrick Alvin was relieved of his duties on Friday, just before the playoffs got started. Um, He took over as the GM in 2022, and he oversaw the Pacific Division title in the 23-24 season. But this past season was rough, as we know. 14 fewer points than the second worst team, and just a crappy season. So there you go. His first season did not qualify for playoffs. Second season did not qualify for playoffs. Third season, he won the division, lost in the second round. And the last two seasons, he did not qualify for the playoffs. So the Canucks have been, yeah, I guess 23-24 was really a blip that probably in the end didn't really help them much because they thought they had something and they probably pivoted to try to stay competitive. And in the end, as we saw this season with only 25 wins, they were pretty horrible. Um, so now the search for a new GM starts in Vancouver. One name we know is not going to be the GM of the Canucks or the Leafs, the name we talked about last week. Sonny Mehta, the poker playing, futures trading, stats nerd, has become a GM of the New Jersey Devils. He was hired before the playoffs got started on Thursday as the team's GM. So good on the Devils for not wasting any time and getting that deal done to bring him home because he's a New Jersey native. So um, we will watch closely and see if he can continue his stat-based approach and make it a success in New Jersey as it was a success in Florida. Speaking of the Maple Leafs, looks like they're gonna give Matt Sundin a job interview. Apparently he's already met with MLSE president Keith Pelly, and they're looking to bring him into the team's hockey operations department. Um, I guess that's not the GM role. They're not having a president or anything after Shanahan left because that's what Pelly's doing. So I guess this is supposed to be somewhere in between president and GM, vice president. I don't know. Um, Interesting. From what I recall, once Mats was kind of done playing hockey, he went back to Sweden and had no interest in coming back to North America. So this is interesting. Um, he's I thought he was just gonna stay in Sweden and that would be that, but maybe they're able to coax him back to North America. If he does, he'll have to deal with Austin Matthews in the end of season press conferences this past weekend. Austin Matthews was very non-committal about his future with the Maple Leafs, and he said, "I can't predict the future." Um, you know, there's steps that need to take place. They got to hire new leadership, stuff like that. I really don't know. I mean, Garrett and I have talked about this multiple times in the past. I don't know. I don't know what else to add to what we've said before between Nylander's comments, between Matthews's comments, between all the non-committal, like what is this? I mean, I can't predict the future. No one's asking you to predict the future. I listened to that sound bite, and the reporter was just trying to find out if he felt like he was still committed to the Leafs or if he might want a change of scenery. And he basically, you know, he said he was happy to be the captain of the Leafs, but the rest was a lot of fluff and saying, there's always a lot of noise and chatter and all that kind of stuff. And it's such a non-answer. And like, if you want out, man, just say it. It's frustrating. But if you're in, don't give a crappy answer like that either. Say, you know what? I'm here. I'm the captain. Captain goes down with the ship. Well, most captains do. Some of them throw oars, but that's another story. And just stick with it. You know what I mean? Like one or the other. It wasn't really hard. Even if he gave the bullshit like I'm here, there's nothing to talk about, I'm signed for a couple more years type answer, that would even be better than this kind of not tripping over his words, but just like not saying much of anything really. Anyways, that's the story with the Leafs there, and that will continue to go on. Um, just want to have a quick look at the NHL playoffs as we get into kind of the second games here. Looking at the Western Conference, Colorado is up 1-0, and they will be playing the LA Kings tonight. So we'll see if this turns into 2-0 or we get a 1-1 series tie. Dallas and Minnesota, they're tied at one game apiece. Vegas up 1-0 over Utah. We had Edmonton and Anaheim face off. Anaheim tried to mount the comeback, but Edmonton got the win. We'll see on the Western Conference side of the brackets. Utah and Vegas will face off again tonight as well. On the Eastern Conference side of things, Buffalo's up 1-0. But as you can see here, the third period is just about to get started in game two of the series, and Boston is up 3-0 currently. Hopefully, the official team of the Money Sauce podcast, the Buffalo Sabres, will be able to have a big third period comeback here. Tampa Bay and Montreal, that series is 1-0 for Montreal. And as you can see right now, they are in the third period, and Montreal is up 2-1. Can Montreal get up 2-0 and kind of be in a nice position? Then we have Carolina, who is up 2-0 over Ottawa. I mean, I'm not incredibly surprised by that, and I don't think any of you would be either. And this is the only real shocker to me here is in the Pittsburgh Philly series. It's 2-0 Philly, and frankly, not impressed with the Penguins so far. Hopefully they can turn it around, but the Flyers have got a 2-0 lead, and you know, never easy to come back down 2-0. Anyways, the plan tonight was to talk a bit about proposed rule changes. We're gonna hold on to that till next week, and we'll just make this week a mini pod. Hopefully you enjoyed our our NHL playoffs preview pod that we dropped over the beginning of the weekend there. And until next time, have a great week.